Customer brought me this Epiphone SG. The output jack has been smashed into the body and there's a crack that runs all the way through, so we're going to glue that all back together. First thing is to take a toothpick and fill the loose bits with as much glue as I can, and then we're just going to clamp that up. Let that sit overnight. We go ahead and scrape back the glue lines with a razor blade. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go inside the control cavity. I'm just going to use a razor blade and I'm going to scrape all the burrs and the loose paint off. You'll notice this guitar does not have any shielding. I am not going to add shielding because the customer didn't pay for that, and apparently it hasn't been a problem yet. Here I am cutting out a piece of 3mm plywood that I'm going to make a splint out of and then just glue it into position. And we're going to leave that clamped up for a couple hours. That is round 2 of glue ups. Okay, here we are after the glue has dried. It's looking pretty clean and all the space is there for the controls to go back in. We plugged that hole. Part of the plan is to move the output jack to the side on a plate. So here I am wiping off all the glue, and then I made this little template so that I can route a spot for a patch. I cut out the skeleton of the template and laminated them together to make it thicker. Here you can see me checking the depth to make sure such a cut is possible, and it looks like we're just barely going to make it. So then I spend quite a bit of time with the template and the patch, and I try to dial it in so that the very top of the blade is just barely kissing the top of the patch. We use the old masking tape and superglue trick to stick our template down onto the guitar body. This is to keep from marking the guitar body. It's a hold that's just strong enough but not too strong. This is how I will use the template. Letting the glue dry, I get the router going and I just give it a quick cut. I've painted the patch black and given it a quick clear coat, and now I'm scuffing that clear coat in with this off-brand Brillo pad. I'm doing this so it matches the worn-in matte of the guitar body. Hey, you want to see a trick? Did you know you can dye your wood glue? It works exactly how you think it does. We're going to be dyeing this glue black and then gluing in the patch. We will apply the glue using my precision toothpick and just fill in that whole gap. A little bit of squeeze out and wipe up the excess. Then I'm going to apply some blue tape. That's just going to protect the guitar from the clamping calls. For small clamping jobs like this, I really like using these cork coasters as pads. They even out the pressure and give me a pretty even squeeze. Using a razor blade to cut off the excess of the patch and then a round over bit in my router. Just about as matched to the guitar as it can get. Now we're going to mix up a little more of that black glue. We're going to put in some sawdust this time to act as a filler, and then we're going to try to fill the gap around this patch. This helps a little bit, but I should have thinned out the glue more. Now let's drill the guitar for the jack plate. We're going to use this output jack plate. We're just going to move it to the side of the guitar. Using a Forstner bit to hollow it out big enough so that the jack will fit. Very easy, very straightforward. Now I'm going to use an off-brand permanent marker to touch up the cracks and fill it in. make all that natural wood tone disappear into the black finish as best I can. Now for the strings, going to go ahead and loosen them all up, and then once the tension is off, I'm just going to snip them right in the middle and pull them out. Hey, do you want to see how to piss off your luthier? Please do not do this. Now once the strings are off, we're going to hit the guitar with the scrubbing, just using water on a paper towel to get all the dust and all the grime off. This is pretty straightforward, not saturating it. Got to get the dust and the dirt off the fretboard so that it will oil properly. We're going to give the frets a good scrubbing with the off-brand Brillo pad, a little bit softer than a regular Scotch-Brite pad, so it's good for getting the scum off the frets. We're just going to use Old English lemon oil, which is lemon-scented mineral oil. You should do this to your rosewood fretboards once or twice a year, and especially if they start to lose their shine, you don't want them to dry out. The customer wanted to start using mammoth slinkies, so we're going to set the guitar up for that. The first thing I'm going to have to do is carve the low E on the nut to fit this 62 gauge string. I'm actually going to take an end cut off of this string that I'm making here and put it in my jeweler's saw, and that will be the tool that I use to file this out. This isn't the most abrasive tool we could use, but it's certainly the most accurate. And here's how to change strings really fast. First, you want to take the string and measure 1.5 tuner posts in front of the tuner that string is going to go in. Cut it there, stick the end in the hole, give it a crimp, and then wrap it around once or twice by hand, and then just start spinning. This is the fastest way to string a guitar. Measure 1 tuner ahead plus 1/2 tuner distance ahead, and that's typically where you'll cut. These are mammoth slinkies, and I probably could have gone a little bit shorter, but that is about as long as you're ever going to need a string to be. Once all the strings are on, it's time to tune it up and intonate. I like to let the guitar strings stretch a little bit before I intonate. You can stretch them out while you install them, but this guitar just sat overnight in tune. This guitar actually intonated into drop B pretty easily, and that was a pleasant surprise. Here is a quick sample of some of the strings in perfect intonation. I then reinstall the electronics and knobs where they go. I didn't get any more footage after this part except for TikTok, so here's that. This is the final product. I patched the hole there where the jack used to be. I moved it to a plate on the side. The body was cracked all the way through, right in half, so I glued that back together. Did a full cleaning, got all the dust and skin cells off, re-oiled the fretboard, did a light polish on the actual frets themselves. Cut the nut for mammoth slinkies. And then on the back, here's the crack where the body cracked on the rear. I shoved a bunch of glue in there and then shaved it back, and that's what that is. And then we're talking about updating this engraving, but we're going to do that at a later time. Pretty fun fix, pretty straightforward. Guitar plays like a beast. I got the action just where it needs to be. It's amazing. Thank you for watching.